Bonsoir à tous, today we're talking about my top 5 tips for learning French. Let's go. Bonsoir à tous and bienvenue à ma chaîne. Je m'appelle Zachary and today we're talking about my top 5 tips for learning French. So I've been learning French for a little while now. As you know, I'm moving to Paris in 50 days now, and I wanted to share my top 5 tips for things that will help you strengthen your vocabulary and short sentences and sentence structures. Now, this isn't going to teach you the language, but it's definitely going to give you some tips and some skills to help you try and improve what you've already got. Now, I did start learning Russian for a little short while as well, and I actually found that some of these tips helped with that as well. So if you're learning a different language, then this can help you with that also. It doesn't just apply to French. Tip number 1. If you're just starting off, then you obviously need a good base. So I would recommend watching these YouTube channels to start with. They offer some really good beginner lessons, and there's a whole sequence of playlists. So you can pick which one you like. I love all 3 of them. They explain things in a little bit of a different way each time. So if you don't get a rule, you can just go ahead and want to watch one of the same videos on one of the other channels, and you're bound to get it after 3 goes. Number 2. So the second tip is you need to actually practice. You need to have something which is going to get you to do exercises. So there's 2 apps that I really like that I use both of as well. The first one is Duolingo. You've probably heard of it. Everyone's used it before. It's really great. There's more than just French on there as well, so check that one out. The other one that people don't know too much about is Kwiziq. Now, Kwiziq is really cool. I actually like it more than Duolingo. So it kind of basically works so you answer a whole lot of quizzes, and based on if you get the answers right or wrong, it gives you grammar rules to learn. And once you do the lessons, you do the quiz again, and it goes on and on and on. Now, the really great thing about Kwiziq though is it has a huge map that shows you where you are in A0, A1, AB, B2, whatever. So you can see each time you learn something new, it lights up one of the little squares. So I recommend that. I think it's helped me a lot. It helps you focus on little individual things, and it gets you to have a look at your strengths and weaknesses as well. Now, number 3 is something really simple. Now, according to studies, if you write something down with a pen on a bit of paper, you can learn 33% more than if you're just reading it or if you're typing it. So there's been many studies done in many universities and schools and such like that, and it's found that when people actually write things down, they retain the information more. When they do quizzes or they're trying to recall the information for some reason, they can recall it more. I guess it's got to do with actually like linking a physical activity with actually learning their stuff in your brain as well. So I think that this is a really good tip. Go and get yourself a good exercise book and start writing your rules in there, or writing lists of words that you don't remember or that you're spelling wrong. Number 4 is you need an easy kind of reference guide to look up verbs or expressions or something like that that you're having trouble with. So the thing that I was having problems with was the conjugations of verbs. Well, you know, that's something that a lot of people have issues with. So I made up a big list of 218 regularly used verbs and conjugated them in the first person, second person, third person, onwards. And then also included in that list what the past participle was and if it used être or avoir. So I found this was really helpful. After I kept looking at it over a certain amount of time, I would remember the ones that I kept forgetting, and then I would find new ones on there that I hadn't really used before, and I'd start to try and get into the flow of not having to look at it at all. Tip number 5. So the 5th thing, and this is what I think actually helped me the most, and you're gonna think it sounds bizarre, but it is a proven thing that people have found out from studies, and it's got to do with music. So this one actually has 4 parts to it. So the first one is go and find bad covers of English songs in French.
La solitude me tue et je dois avouer, j'y crois toujours. Quand tu n'es pas là, je perds la tête, fais-moi ainsi.
Now there's heaps on YouTube and people have questionable singing skills, but we're listening to it for the language, not for the singing. And if you pick a song that you really like and you listen to it enough, you'll learn the words, and then when the song comes on, you can sing it in French.
Baby, je n'ai pas besoin de billets pour rêver ce soir. Ça n'a pas de prix. Baby, je n'ai pas besoin de billets pour danser ce soir. Ça n'a pas de prix. Je n'ai pas envie de ça.
The second one is printing out English song lyrics and then going and trying writing what they are in French. Now, this also helps you learn the words in French, so when it comes on in the club, or it comes on the radio, or anywhere else, you can sing along to the words that you've just learned. Number 3 is very, very similar to number 2. It's get French songs and print out the lyrics and translate them into English. And then do the same thing. Play the song and try and sing it in English. And the idea is to try and keep up with the song. So you're translating it as fast as the song is actually playing. Now, I started to do this about a year ago and I was so terrible at it. I wouldn't even have the first line of the song done before we got to the chorus. But I kept doing it over and over again, as well as all my other activities, and now I think I'm kind of pretty good. I can almost keep up, but I'm just a little bit behind. And the last part of number 5 is, once you've got those song lyrics written out in French, download the karaoke version of the song and then sing it. Now, this probably sounds bizarre, but this is something that helps you with pronunciation. So the idea is that you sing the song yourself, then you go and listen to the actual recorded version, and then you try and compare the two and think about it. And it helps you try and work out what words you can't say, or which words you don't know how to say, or which words don't sound the same as the original version. So you try and stick in your head to remember to say it this way when you're singing the song. And I think it's really fun when you're driving around, when you're at the club, when you're at the beach, when you're shopping. It like just adds funness to your day and helps you learn at the same time. So try it out for yourself. I know that I remember so many words and so many sayings that I would have never learned before if it wasn't for these songs. So it's definitely helped me improve greatly. So currently I have just finished A2 French. So when I arrive in Paris, I'll be starting a B1, which is a little bit scary because it's all grammar rules now. So it's kind of really getting into it deep. Also, one more thing I do need to mention, you need to keep it regular. So if you just do this stuff like once a week or once every couple of weeks, you are not going to retain anything. So you need to do a little bit every single day. Whether it's on the weekend, you write out the words to 3 songs, and then during the week, you just keep listening to those songs and singing them and learning that way. You just have to at least put some kind of effort in every day just to try and keep your brain active to remember it all. So tell me your favorite method. Leave it down in the comments below. Or if you'd like to help me improve, then leave a comment below and we can start having a chat. I have more videos coming up, so stick around. Until next time, je m'appelle Christopher Zachary en direct. À plus tard! Now, if you like this video, don't forget to give me the thumbs up, press subscribe, and use the bell if you want to receive notifications. You can also check me out on Instagram and Facebook as well if you want to follow what I'm doing during the week.